We are back. A week off. Kane's Corner. We're back on probably a regular basis, I guess, from now on. We'll see. I mean, was there a ban? Was there not a ban? My internet doesn't look great right now. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Okay, I look a little choppy. I'm not liking that. I'm hooked up good. Anyway, yeah, was there a ban? Was it not a ban? We don't know. We don't know the true story yet. I've been getting pummeled by Freddie Lynn to, give the correct answer, but I'm not. Like, I'm feeling great. I'm excited to be here. Some people are going to try to, run and have a great show and run away, but that's not what we do here. We may have to take a week off once in a while and kind of collect ourselves, but we're not going to run away. We're not going to run away when we have everything rolling, like other people. Yeah, there's all bunk beds. I'm going to get off the chat in 2 seconds, but yes, they're bunk beds. Can you imagine? Have kids with bunk beds? Is it really that crazy? And get rid of these fucking comments because they're going to drive me nuts. I don't want to go off the deep end because I've already been on the deep end. Anyway, I put off the comments. They're gone. Fuck them. We don't need them. We're ready to go. First off, I want to say we're going to do a little moment of silence for my guy, Ted Sarandis. A very awful week. I was, actually really sad. I know it was something about, let's do the moment of silence for Ted. All right. Something about seeing his actual, like, who he was, realizing that was the guy that was busting my balls constantly. I mean, let's be serious. I mean, Ted could be a real dick, and that's a good quality in this world. But he was somebody who I really enjoyed his content. I enjoyed the lists. I enjoyed him naming me Minifan MVP of the network. I really enjoyed that. I know it bothered people. Great. This is what he was. He was this kind of guy who just, again, I was probably, I don't know, it was probably early February. I sent out a tweet looking for who he was, looking to see like where he's been. I couldn't know, like, what the hell is this guy? And it's really, really, really awful. Obviously, Kirk said that he had a very, an awful, I guess how he went was just very tragic. I'm sorry for the family. To the family, you're obviously you leave 4 kids behind. I can't imagine. But he will be sorely missed. I had a good amount of correspondence with him, and contrary to the trolls and other people, I don't think he actually hated me. He liked busting my balls, but we had some decent conversations. I mean, he was a big liberal, and that probably some of the people that he hates the most, if you can just go look at their politics, and it kind of sums it up. And that's kind of what I loved about him. It's kind of funny. Very awful. I don't know what else to say about Ted. I wish it was somebody else, not him, to be quite honest, but we're not going to get that wish. But you're gonna get a good show tonight because we are bringing on, one of the more electric third chairs in a long time. Now, did he take my advice? I hope he didn't. He did exactly the opposite of what I told him he should do, which was a good idea. But one thing I did tell him was just be yourself. We got that today. We got Brando as Brando. I was fascinated. I was at work. I had to listen. It was a hard day at work. It was not fun, but I squeezed it in. And for parts of it, I just zoomed in on Brando and watched his face and his movements and this guy is insane. He was great. We're going to bring him in. We're going to hear all about it. Even Mick was sucking his dick. I mean, this guy had a great day. Let's bring him in. Here he is, the one, the only Brandon from Connecticut who lied to get on the network and has turned it around. And here he is making an appearance on the main show, which was, honestly fantastic. Great job today, Brando.
Thanks, Kane, and thanks for having me back on. I'm glad the Kane train is back on the tracks firmly. And yeah.
All right, so why don't you bring us through the morning? So the morning you get up, I know you had hit some traffic. Were you a little nervous? You weren't going to make it in?
I was very nervous. I thought I was going to give myself plenty of time. And then I got within like 15 miles or so of the city. And I started hitting traffic and the numbers started to go up. I started like a 9:30 ETA. I was like, okay, we're good. And that was with some traffic already figured in because Google Maps already saw some of the traffic. And then I started getting a little closer and I'd hit like a spot where I'd be almost stopped for a little bit and it'd go up to 6:35, 6:30, or sorry, 9:35, 9:38. And it got up to like 9:42, 9:43. And I'm like, please don't do this. I'm like, man, imagine if I come, I'm thinking, imagine I try to show up late and then Kirk just says, nah, man, you can't be late for this. What the hell are you doing? And I just completely blow it. But the traffic kept moving. I guess maybe it was destiny. I don't know. But I made it there. It was about 9:40 on the dot when I pulled up.
Good time.
And yeah, so I did okay time-wise.
So you get there, you're like, okay, did you have an idea of where, like, it's kind of like when you pull up, it's, you got to go upstairs and all that. And as you were walking down that hallway, what were you thinking? What was like you saw Blind Mike and what went through your mind?
Just everything all at once. Just how everything has culminated to this. I've been a Mina fan since the beginning, and it's just crazy to think. I have to say first off, hashtag thank you, Kirk. No other podcast would this ever happen to anyone. You got a random guy like me, a random fan that gets to come in and be a part of a huge podcast. So. You don't see this with other podcasts.
No question.
I'm at the end of the hall. I see Blind Mike. He's in his spot. He's just staring straight ahead, and that's kind of when it's like, what? Oh, it must be real. I see Blind Mike sitting in a chair.
So you get in there. What was the first thing that happened? You walk. Obviously, you come into the room where they shoot the podcast. Obviously, there's the producer's booth. Did you go? You said you went over and you talked to Fax first. That was your first move.
I think I saw the guys on the left, and then I said, hey, and I saw Fax was tucked away in his corner on the right there, and I was looking for a spot to put my other drinks because obviously you can't have different brands of drink and stuff on there for sponsorship reasons. I got my souvenir with me too. I got my body armor, empty body armor. This is my souvenir. If I never make it back in, at least I get a water bottle out of it.
There you go.
So I saw Fax. I said, hey, Fax, what's up? I felt kind of comfortable with him because I had met him at the Aaron Hernandez thing, talked to him a little bit. So I kind of chatted with him. And then I walked over. I sat down. I got up. I was pacing around. I probably looked like a crazy person right up until the podcast started.
So, and I told you, like, you sit down and Mike is very quiet. He's quiet and he's not saying much, but did anything you say off the show make it into the show? Because Mike is like a little lady chatterly. You say stuff off the show and you almost know that at least the 2 or 3 times I've said something, it's always come back into the show. Did you have that experience today?
No, because there wasn't really too much being said. I was also kind of quiet and I was talking to the guys a little bit. Then I went and I had to pee. And I was trying to gather myself. I was trying to slow my breathing. And no, there wasn't too much chatter that ended up making it in.
Okay. So then you're waiting. Kirk's coming in. Obviously, you see the shuffling. He's here. He's here. You get that feeling. And he walks in. He sits down and you just, it's go time, huh?
Yep.
How nervous were you?
Very surreal. Incredibly nervous. My heart was pounding out of my chest. Once again, I'm just thinking about slowing down my breathing. And it was just crazy because he, as you know, he just walks in, he says, oh, we're good. And then he just starts going.
Crazy.
So, and then it was, we were in. And luckily for me with the Gene Hackman stuff, I mean, we pretty much just let him go for, 10, 15 minutes, almost uninterrupted, at the beginning of the podcast. So I didn't really have to say much. It gave me some time to try to gather my thoughts and try to calm myself down as best I could.
Personally, I thought you did honestly fantastic. I know it's not easy. It's you go in there, and if Kirk doesn't like what you're saying, whatever, you just shut you right down. It cuts you right off, and obviously it's
Mm.
his show, so makes a lot of sense. But why don't you bring us through some of these questions now? Do you have the list of questions still? Because I would like to also know what was on there if you have them. I'm
I
curious. Like
think I
some of these
read
questions, they were almost like game like.
they were
You know, like, they were
Kane-esque, they were Mayo-esque, they were
yeah,
off the wall. It was
awesome.
just kind of stuff I came up with last night when I was just brainstorming. I was
So
like,
were you when you were in there though? Were you saying to yourself like, okay, like I don't want to ask this because I know like were you nervous about asking some of the questions? Because I've been there too. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to ask that, but did you feel comfortable with everything that was on your sheet that you could have asked anything on your sheet to Kirk?
yeah, yeah. I know I felt that he would answer or whatever, and if he doesn't want to, he can just kind of tell me to go screw if he thinks it's a dumb question. But once you're in there, it's like I felt kind of like I might as well go for it type of deal.
Yeah, it was yeah, you had some good humor. I really liked when you know, they were like, did you subscribe to the Blind Mike podcast? And
Yeah.
they're like, Dave, anything else? That was great. So did you have anything else that you wanted to use on the show that you really just couldn't get to? Anything that stuck out or
No, the one thing I tried to make a comment about was I didn't realize how big that producer window is. I thought it was like a little window, maybe like a regular one, but it's this huge open,
huge? Yeah,
like they're right there staring at you. And I never realized how many kind of ticks I have and movements I have,
it's
especially
crazy.
when I'm that nervous. I'm shuffling around, my legs are moving, my mouth is all kinds of crazy stuff. And I have this habit of trying to look everyone in the eye when they're talking. So you just see me darting, you see me looking over at the producers,
Yes,
you see me
yes.
looking at Kirk, looking over at Mike. And yeah, it's
No,
just kind
it
of
was
interesting to see from the outside.
honestly, I really enjoyed your performance. I'm actually, I don't want to say in awe of it. I cannot believe anybody can go in there for the first time and and perform like you did. I mean, I thought you just handled yourself really well. It was a quick show, which helps.
Hmm.
Trying to get everything in an hour and change can be not easy. But it was a really fun show today. It flowed well. My only disappointment, and I sent the message out to Kirk, but I didn't like you didn't get the I'm a Brando guy. What the fuck?
I did not get the
You
I'm
didn't
a
get out.
Brando
No,
guy.
there's no
I
way
didn't
he's not
get
a Brando guy, right? It's impossible. How could he not be? The guy looked like he was like had the most fun he's had in years with you in there. That's how fun
he
that show was today.
he seemed he seemed to be enjoying himself, and he really thought some of the questions were funny, and I was getting some good laughs with some of my little one-liners.
Yes.
So I what's funny is before the show I was thinking, oh, is he gonna end up saying or tweeting out by the end he's a Brando guy? That's like the stamp of approval. Like
I agree.
I'm a Brando guy. But
I yeah, it
I
didn't
think it
happen. I'm
ended up
shocked.
being a little rushed. I think it's because of unnamed too, because I think he might have said something a little more about me or kind of closed it a little more officially at the end, but we were kind of up against it. That flew by the way. All of a sudden he's talking about, oh, we got unnamed next. I'm like, it's been an hour and a half, and it's like boom.
Flew
Yeah.
by.
Once you get rolling, man, it's crazy.
Did anything surprise you? Were you taken back by anything that kind of like you weren't expecting?
The studio is pretty small. I don't know why
Yeah.
it seems a lot bigger on YouTube, but it's not a very big space. And then I had that little chair. I think that's new because somebody broke the other chair. I had that. I don't think you're usually like a little rolly. I had a computer chair for the third chair. I don't know if you could kind of tell from the
What
YouTube.
did you notice if the mics have been disinfected? That's the question I have. I mean, no, still no.
Oh,
Huh?
no. But
No.
I did make sure, like, I had maybe, like, I feel like my nose could have ran at one point, or I had like
Oof.
an itch. I didn't. I tried my best to never touch my face, to never blow my nose, never sniffle. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I don't care if it's allergies. I don't care if I'm having an aneurysm. I'm gonna sit here
He's
like a
hyper focused on it
statue.
too. Like every time
Yeah,
I
I
had
did not
coffee, he'd
want
be
to give
like,
him anything,
sick. Yeah, he's hyper focused on it too. He does not like to be
especially
sick. We can tell.
especially with Menner's like trying to set me up the other night. I was
That was
like,
fucked
just
up.
don't give him anything.
That
Don't
was
give him
fucked up.
anything.
What was
So,
your opinion on that? I said to him, well, I said to you too, maybe, but obviously you took a shot at him. I mean, he's not petty at all. I mean, you called for a job on the network, and so he decided he was going to try to knock you off the fucking main show. That's manners 101.
I mean,
Have you guys squared that away? Have you talked privately and kind of
I was
put that
very,
behind you?
I was not happy with him. Definitely by the end of that show, between the stuff with Nurse Kim, which he thinks is a joke, but I told him that. I mean, it can be a joke, but like some of the stuff he said towards the beginning about me and Nurse Kim, it's like I do have a girlfriend. I know it's kind of all funny in the Minifan world, and I think he kind of toes the line of like what's a joke, what's a bit, what's not. And with him, he finds one thing, like nothing bothers me, as everyone can pretty much tell. Like you saw me in there just like looking like an idiot. I don't care. But that was one thing that kind of gets to me. So I think he realized that, and he was trying to kind of dig in on it. And I think I talked to him, maybe that morning when I finished I went in for third shift and I was finishing up, and he was I was going back and forth with him. I'm like, dude, it's not like I'm not messing around. This isn't a bit. Like, I did not appreciate like the sick stuff, and definitely didn't appreciate the Nurse Kim stuff. And he was good about it. He said, I didn't realize it wasn't a joke. I meant it to be a joke. I didn't realize it was serious. So
Listen,
I haven't heard anything since then.
I'm with you. I'm not going to tell anybody how to produce their content, but honestly, the other night I was sitting down with my girlfriend, and she's like, you're going to Laconia. Who are you going to meet? The mass gambling girl? Like, no matter what happens, it doesn't go away, right? Like, they can say they're okay with it. I'm sure your girlfriend's a great person.
She's
but
awesome.
The bottom line is we both know that that's going to fucking cause a little bit of a riff, right? So,
if he said
you did call for his job, so he decided he was going to try to like ruin your relationship and knock you off the show. I mean, it's fair, right?
I guess, but I mean, I'm literally just messing around. Like,
I know.
Like he should know that I'm not. I don't care if he's a CEO or not. I'm just giving him a hard time, but I don't know.
So, you guys cleared it up, or you guys think you're in a good place now, or?
Yeah, I think we're decent. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, he's the boss man.
I mean, you're doing a great job on the network. I know he knows that. You're doing good on the network. You got a great show performance today. Your stock's up. I mean, wait a minute, hold on. I wanted to read this to you too, which this was. I
want to say thank you to everyone for all the messages. Before the show, after the show, I've gotten tons and tons of DMs, comments saying nice job, I enjoyed it.
How about this one?
Etc.
Brando has already become one of the best third chairs in the history of KMS.
Was that Mick's tweet?
Mick Marks. Wow.
Yeah,
now that's an endorsement.
Yeah, I think that was that he posted it with that clip. Was it me asking the question about Kirk and his parents? If he could say anything to his dead parents? Yeah. It felt very Kane-esque or very Mayo-esque for sure.
Yeah, those are good.
I didn't think it went like exceptional.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't think it went exceptionally well. I thought I did okay. A lot of my stuff fell kind of flat, and a couple times he came to me and I like almost couldn't speak, and I felt like
you got to look at it from the prism. You got to look at it from you're looking at it from the wrong prism. You got to look at it from it's your first appearance. This is not your fifth appearance or sixth appearance, seventh appearance. It's your first. Like, it was a very, very good. I mean, if you compare some of the people that have been in there that we've seen in their first appearances, yours was really good. You're unique. You're a pretty unique guy. So, like, I think it's gonna. I think there's a lot the show could do with you. I think you'll be back for 100% for sure. You obviously said you're welcome back anytime. I just wish you would have gave you. I'm a Brando guy. I needed that today, but. Kirk's busy.
He needed that Brando guy.
So Laconia is coming up. I'm excited. I finally have somebody that can help me with the kids, which is great. I will definitely be there. I know you're going.
Yep, I will be there.
Are you traveling? I think we've talked about this, but you traveling alone, or you going with anybody, or carpool with Mayo, or from?
It's either going to be a carpool with me and Mayo from Putnam, or I'm going to go up by myself sometime in the afternoon on Saturday.
Nice. I'm excited. You've been to a live show. You been to one before? No,
This is it.
only
The
the
Hernandez thing
Hernandez
was
thing.
my first, like, that's not even like a real live show. That was my first little, like, just kind of Minifan get together.
Yeah, that was a weird one, huh? Sorry, Brando. First time I got to meet you. It was exciting.
I said, "What's up, Kane?" You go, "Do I know you?" I go, "It's Brando. I was on your show the other day." "Oh, what's up, man?" In your
All right, we're gonna do
defense,
it.
I had barely met you, and it was just a couple days before.
Can I ask you a question? Are you going to grade your own show?
I was thinking about that.
And
I'm
if you
not
can
sure
do it,
yet.
maybe I don't know if you should grade your own. It's kind of weird, but maybe
I
you can
don't
do it
think
right
I'm
here.
gonna.
Why don't you give yourself a grade today? What do you think? First appearance. You definitely were nervous. We could see it, but that was that. Like I saw Tim Smith. He said you had about 400 movements or something, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
he had the stat sheet, which was pretty funny.
You're
23.
looking from the
I went through the
outside, trying to
water.
take
Wicked.
yourself out of it. What do you think the show was today, grade wise?
The show overall, or
Yeah.
me?
Well, we'll go you
I thought
first.
it was a decent show. I thought
I'll
it
grade
was
with
like
you.
a B show. I thought it was
Okay.
a B show, like in the mid 80s. I mean, I'm still gonna grade it on my show too. So,
Sure. Yeah.
But me, I'd say like C plus.
Oh,
C
come
plus, B
on.
minus.
You're so
80.
humble.
I'll give myself an 80, B minus.
All
I
right.
didn't think it was that fantastic.
I'm gonna give you a B plus. I thought you were close to an A. I thought that you were that good today. I know maybe not everybody agrees with that, but I know how hard it is in there the first time. And what you did today was good. You did a good job. So I'm gonna give you a solid B plus.
Okay.
What about Dave? How about Dave today? What was your
Dave was you know what's weird is I listened back to some of it. When you're in it, you almost don't even know or remember what's going on or what they're talking about. Because I was just thinking kind of about what to say or what to bring up. So sometimes I wasn't even like really listening to what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't catch everything. But Dave, if I remember correctly, had some pretty good little moments there where he was being feisty. And I kept sending it back to him. And we were kind of giving him a hard time about not remembering anything. So I thought he had a pretty good show. I thought he's in the B range too.
All right. Blind Mike. I thought he was
yeah.
If I'm going to grade Blind Mike first, I'm going to say a good solid performance today from Mike. A-ish. B plus A-ish. He was really good. He really worked well
as he could. He made me as comfortable as he could. I think he was very it's a nice easy soft landing spot to be next to Mike. He's got the chemistry with Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there since the beginning. And even if you look at Mike from the start, he was much more awkward at the beginning. And he's gained a lot of confidence over the years. He's gotten his mental stuff in check, and he's great on the show. I love Mike. So, and Tim Smith, while I was at the gym, he gifted me a Blind Mike project membership I think I got it for a month. So
nice.
I'm a member for at least a month. Thanks, Tim Smith.
That was nice of him. Any last thoughts on anything today? I mean, for me, it was great to see. Nothing makes me happier than when people go in there and have good performances, and people that I actually like. It was a good day for me too to see that. I'm glad that you got to live your dream that way, and I'm glad that you did a great job. It's just it's awesome. It's a great show. I mean, it's an awesome show to be part of like that, and just to be anything to ever just show up in there once is quite an honor. I know a lot of fans have been in there now, but I never would take it for granted. I don't think anybody should.
No,
you sit next to the best broadcaster to ever do it. Just a brilliant mind that just going to challenge you, and if you can keep up with him in that room, you've done something. So
yeah, great job. I just want to thank everyone, between you, Kane, others on the network that gave me a chance. I want to thank you for just offering to be my producer for my show.
Sure.
Always always producing when I need you and being there and being reliable. And
I will do anything for this network. I mean, I don't want anything other than just to be part of fans, and that's what you do the stuff for the network is for the fans, right? So just I will do anything to do anything for this show that I could ever do because that's how much it means to me. And what you said today, I had a lot of feelings of the same. Just when you're in dark times and shit, like this show really, the comedy in this show really helps you,
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice of you to say that to him today. I mean, I feel the same way. And it kind of hit home. So it was just an overall, just a great day for the show, I thought. And for yourself?
I went to Milton's and I got this. I think I snatched this thing for $40. Nice little quarter zip type deal.
Nice.
I figured I was there and I had the joke kind of where he said, "Oh, you need to go to Milton's," and I said, "Today?" And he goes, "No, just in general." So I'm like, that'd be pretty good if I go to Milton's after and pay them a visit.
What'd you think? How was the service?
Place.
Top notch?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was good.
Top notch service. Everything was good. Clothes looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you go? Burlington or?
I don't no. Chestnut Hill, maybe. It was whatever was closest on my it's just the first thing that popped up in Google Maps. I'm not very familiar with the city.
It's probably Chestnut Hill from there.
I punched it. Yeah, it's right by the mall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Its own little building.
The Burlington's near a mall too, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chestnut Hill, I think.
All right.
So yeah, that was awesome. So now I got my Miltons. I'll be rocking it in Laconia. Maybe I'll rock it if I end up making it back on the show again. I'll be sure to have some Miltons on. Great sponsor. They were awesome to me. They were awesome to me. So yeah.
Mo Millens, I'll get you back there. All right, Brando, I'm gonna let you go. Great job today. Let me know about your show, what you want to do this week.
Sounds
good. Of course,
good.
I'll be there for anything that you need. All right.
Thanks a lot,
Brando. Good job. Great job by Brando. Just a great performance today. What can you say? I mean, not easy to go in there and do what he did. So exciting. But we'll get to a few more topics here. Let me pull up my list. Now, I was gonna do something for kind of like an honor, I guess, of Ted Sarandos a little bit. I went back through. Freddie didn't want to come on. He's scared. I don't know what his problem is, but I wanted to have him on. So because I went back and I took every single question that he asked Kirk and put it all into like you'll like this, Freddie, a nice spreadsheet. And it was pretty funny. I'm going to say, Freddie, I thought you asked a lot more questions. So I will give you that pass. It was not as much, but there was some stumbling and bumbling, man. When you go back and you actually look at it and read it out loud, it was very funny. But I'd rather have him on to do that. So we're going to leave that one alone. But let's see what else we got here. Yes, the Bradley Stein experience. I haven't been able to talk about that since I was last kicked off, went off on my own. I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say, right? I mean, there's some forces behind the scenes, maybe trying to knock me down. Maybe not. Maybe I just chose to do it on my own, but who knows? Anyway, Bradley, I will say about his performance, and I kind of understand what Manners was trying to say. It was so bad that it was good. It was definitely unique, different. I don't think you're going to get another performance quite like that. I don't see it. And now there were some people in the I guess I don't know. I'm not part of the troll chat anymore, but the trolls. I don't know what they exactly like to be called, but whatever it is. They love the guy, and that's fine. My point only was that, first of all, Kirk letting him hijack the show like that was shocking. Shocking. Kirk is like, I don't know if control freak's the right word or whatever the word is, but it's his show, and you're going to follow the rules of his show. And if he doesn't like what you're saying, he just cuts you right off, and that's it. He kind of let this guy just go. Now, I heard him say, like, hey, look, if you got a microphone in it, you're a microphone, you go. But that's not necessarily true either. You can't have it both ways. It's tough on that show because if Kirk comes in a bad mood or he doesn't feel like engaging and with the third chair or whatever, it's going to go how he wants it to go. For some reason, he let this guy just kind of fucking go in and just hijack the show. Not a fan for me. I understand why people like them, though. I do understand that. Overall, I understand it. I get the thought process behind it, but my point is, you could never do that for 2-3 shows in a row. Like, it'll never happen again like that. Like, Kirk's never gonna let you just fucking take over a show again. I doubt that he would let you do that. I just don't think it's really like a guy that's gonna even. He said like 3 or 4 times a year. It's like, wow, man. I don't know about that. I think it's like, and then he kind of changed it to once or twice a year. I think that's way more realistic. Even then, he's just a fucking grifter. He's just there trying to just, he doesn't care about the show. I will also say about Bradley, he's soft. He's weak. He's pathetic. He's a fucking pussy. And again, he was in a chat talking about my kids. As soon as I went in there, he ran off. I don't care. No big deal. It's on the end of the world. I'm just curious, like, if you want to have a conversation about it. I don't know. But this is who he is. He's soft, and I think if he really keeps going back on that show, he's going to get eaten alive. I think in the end of the day, he's just kind of like soft in his, he's just kind of soft. I mean, he did have a unique performance. I'll give it to him. Not for me, not my cup of tea, but not everybody is. So I understand the people that really liked him. That's great. But he seems kind of like a dick. And I know I'm a dick, so whatever. But he just seems kind of, I don't want to call him a bad guy, but, you going in chat, you're talking about people's kids and you run away. Yeah, man. That's the Bradley Stein experience. That's the experience we're going to get from Bradley Stein. I just wasn't, just not my kind of thing. I honestly hope he never goes on the show again. Ever. But the other topic too, which, I didn't get to talk about last week was, fucking Kirk killing Shark Minahan. Fucking Christ. I don't know. Is this account even back up yet? I don't even think it's back. Now I'm just kind of joking, but like, man, he took it real serious, didn't he? Jeez. Now I'm not going to say I agree with Kirk because I'm not going down this road. Me and Shark have a pretty good relationship. Not anymore because not on Twitter anymore, but a lot of behind the scenes. I'm a big fan of Shark, but I guess I didn't personally understand the tweet he put out, but I'm dumb. So maybe I'm sure it went way over my head, and he took it so fucking personal, and to run off and cancel the account, and just I couldn't believe it. I'm really hoping he comes back. Shark, come back, Shark. We need you. I mean, he's brought us some of the great lists, great tweets. Just a solid guy. A really good guy too. I mean, if you get to know him at all, like he's really positive, just down to earth. Like he understands the joke. He's in on the joke. He also ripped Robbie V for that horrible fucking video he put out, that was sad, Robbie. It just was sad. But I just, it's sad what Kirk does to these people. You knocked off one of the best fans you had. I mean, fucking take it easy, man. Don't fuck around with Shark. He comes back, at least try to play a little more with the kid gloves, Just tell him everything he does is great, so we don't lose him. When Kirk does these things, then he knocks off the great fans. He concentrate on trying to get rid of like shitty fans like me. Don't fuck with him. We got a lot in here, a lot of stuff. Andy Mayo's nickel's worth of free advice. Hopefully, it's coming back. I saw Meadows ripping it, talking shit, nailing it. He hated it, whatever. I loved the show, loved it. Now, of course, the idea about Jeff D. Lowe in the the marriage advice and stuff was a little crazy. That's not going to work. But you know what I really have just realized about Mayo? That I know I knew this, but it always hits me, and I always forget how sensitive Andy is. He really is a sensitive guy. And he took it real personal, but the show was very good. That's a good show. Andy's very good at he's good on the mic. He does it when he does shows like that. I loved it. I don't know if he's going to come back. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I mean, Menace was very critical.
Menace is here. Menace is here to defend himself. So
he was very critical of that show.
Kane might jump in. That is a lie. So what is it with people just lying about me in the last 24
What's
hours.
what's a lie?
I wasn't critical of Andy's show. I just said it was insane. Like it was just an insane show.
Isn't that critical?
No, I liked it, but it was crazy how serious he and Biodude were. And I think I was more critical of his idea to get Jeff Lowe on and give him marriage advice.
Well, that was nuts. That was nuts.
It was nuts.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Enjoyed your interview with Brando.
Yeah, it was fun.
The only thing is, he's obviously very sensitive. He got very upset about what happened on his show earlier this week. He's a tough guy when he's on his own, and he's happy to just say what he wants about me and throw shit on me whenever he can to score points on Twitter or on his show. But when he gets a bit back, he cries and he begs me in his DMs to go easy. And look, I'm happy to. Obviously, love is love. If Nurse Kim and him want to be together, what am I going to be able to do about it? Like, I can't stop it. So
he tried to like brush it off, but he's clearly has never done shows with you, so he didn't realize that wasn't going to work. You know, like you were going to come back to it, and just back to it maybe 10 more times. So, yeah, I mean, he said it. He just said now he's still upset about it. It's he got under his skin, and
absolutely. I hate people that just are two-faced dickheads like him. I'm only one way, and I also think you're going a bit overboard with your praise for his performance today. I thought he was fine, like a fine first appearance, but there was a lot of awkward moments where he was trying to inject stuff in, and he was like talking when other people were talking.
You think? I mean, for him, that was a good performance for him. I didn't expect him to be that good. I didn't. I thought it'd be a lot worse, but
interesting. I mean, I've got a lot of faith in him, so I knew he'd do fine, and he did do fine.
He was great. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I did think it was strange that he had this notebook, but whenever Kirk went to him, he didn't seem to have anything to talk about. And then he did something which he should get shit for, bringing up Adam Minahan and being like, "You're going to talk to your brother again." That was like you saying, "Oh, Kirk, you're dying of cancer." It was one of those
I didn't say that,
absolute bombs of a topic.
Listen, we're cut from the same cloth, two weirdos, Brando, I told you, I zoomed in and the facial, like he looked so fucking nervous. And I know that feeling. That's why I was surprised he pushed through. I thought he, it's tough. You've been in there. Not easy.
Not really. No, I haven't actually.
Well, you did your show there, right? With Red.
Yeah.
How bad was Red on that show? God, he was brutal.
I'm just saying he's a kind of a badge of honor now not to have been a third chair. Like all you fucking losers have been, but I haven't. So,
what do you think about the big house? Mick, Montante, Daver, John and Warren, and Mick's disrespectful calling John and Warren's friend, who's also a Mena fan. His name's Suda.
Okay,
he's a big fan of the show.
Yeah. The others just better lock their doors so David can't get to their wallets. That's all.
Yeah, I'm surprised David's going. I mean, the other day I said something to him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're, I don't know what he said. Basically, like, why are you sending me stuff because Menners told you to?" And I'm like, oh, okay. Now he's going to live shows and he wants to be part of it. It's like, David, just fucking come in. What are you waiting for? Don't fucking have dance. Just you want to be back. You overreacted. Big time. I mean, obviously, I don't care about the gambling thing, but to like just not do anything with the show for this long over that, when it was a guy like VD who had an awful week. That was a fucking. I could not believe that comedy he put this week. I just was like, David, just come in, man. What do you? I don't even understand it.
I do understand why maybe he's keeping the show at arm's length. Like if you get burnt. There is nothing wrong with listening to the show, enjoying it, but not inserting yourself into the world or putting yourself up for criticism. Dave, I think if he can't handle the heat, which he couldn't, as soon as it got a little hot, he ran away like a little bitch. Then you're better off just listening to the show and just sit on the sidelines and enjoy it. I mean, that's what the Minifan Network is for. You can sit on the sidelines, watch these shows and watch the main show, and that can be your involvement.
Oh man, it could be a little critical of you too right now, I guess. But like,
why?
You watched the unrelated show this week, right? First of
Yeah,
all,
why? What about
Jackson fucking making comments about my brother. I blocked him. I had to. He's on probation with me. I'm just kind of kidding, but fuck you, Jackson.
it? Was that the joke about your brother that made the other two very uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, it makes Montante uncomfortable. But then Montante, who just fucking the guy doesn't shut the fuck up, huh? He's literally saying that, like, if I show up in Laconia, I'm gonna have problems. I didn't, and I said something back to him, like I sent him a DM, like, what the fuck what are you like talking about? He's like, basically, like, I don't know what exactly what he wrote, but I was just like, Montante, maybe you wouldn't show up. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to be in Laconia. Like, I would never miss the show because Montante thinks I shouldn't show up because I might face some consequences.
What consequences?
I don't know. That's what I was saying. I'm like, that's the kind of shit Montante might not show up because he'd be worried about it. Maybe, I don't know, but why would I? Like, I'm going to watch a live show. Like, if people are going to attack you, then it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm going to be there.
Just take one of your chef's knives in here.
Yeah, it was a good show this week, though. The Unrelated show, very, very good.
It was a good show, but honestly, like, Minifan on Minifan violence should not be tolerated. Obviously, happened once, I think, at a soccer show. Someone took a swing at someone at a obviously sneakers assaulted Visionless Dave and
now I'm glad he did
Jay. But it's not cool. Like, you can hate people, but you can't let them enjoy the show.
Well, Montante's so dumb too. He just believes what they tell him. He's like, "Oh, you said this about the guy's son," and I'm like, "You know what, Montante? If you're that fucking stupid, I don't know what to tell you." But he just believes everything. One day is one way, the next day is another. But I'll see him there. I'm looking forward to seeing all the people, all the boys, especially Cinema Lords. Where's Cinema Lords been? Very quiet lately, huh? Good show with Robbie Fox.
Yeah, I think he's just been jerking off to that show with Robbie.
Just staying away after he, got his he almost got his title snatched from him.
It's no coincidence that Freddie announced his break the day after, like, Cinema got on his one of his Barstool idols.
Good point. What is up with? So it's not a bit. So I was trying to follow it. I was busy today. I couldn't get really through it all. But he's just going to take a break. He's going to tell us next week why, or.
I finished my bagel now.
Yeah, you
Mick texted me telling me to stop eating. Mick giving me notes. Seriously, I'm getting nauseous, he said. Anyway, it was a cheese and tomato bagel.
Keep eating that and open up your mouth while you do it so you can watch.
I'm trying to do a thing where I have less, like, processed meat. Less ham and bacon and all that. Even processed turkey, trying to just have a little bit less of it. So hence cheese and tomato. So what was the question you asked?
So just like with the break for Freddie, do you have any...
So I think this show is tearing him apart. I think Fireside Chat he lives and breathes that show, and it's tearing him apart. I think the stress of the Kirk interview, he's aged 10 years in a week. It's incredible. And as I said on the other show, I totally agree. Seasonal productions are a good way of doing it. Especially Freddie, he does try and get different people on all the time. It's not just the same cast of characters. So, hopefully it's just a month off and he comes back. I think we need to fill that 9 p.m. Wednesday spot with a show while he's off. Maybe you want to do, Kane's Fireside Chat on a Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
I'll use a logo. Yeah.
We'll just
it's hard. It's hard to duplicate that show. You got to have you got to be like almost like a robot, man. It's not easy. He does a good job.
It was like Tom Shattuck asked what cheese. It was like one of those mixes of shredded cheese. So it had like a mozzarella and a couple of others in there. And then I threw some parmesan in, just to aged parmesan, just to give it a bit of flavor. I mean,
what are you looking at the chat? Smart move. I can't do that.
I am.
I'm not able. I'm not good enough to do that.
No, the chat's basically Jake talking. I unblocked him.
What's his problem? He sent me a bunch of texts. What's his problem?
I just unblocked him from the network. I just felt sorry for him when he went on with you for an hour and was basically crying because I blocked him on Twitter. I just thought, well,
yeah, he's a character.
I just also, so people who ask, what am I doing here? Well, I said to you, I might jump on at the end. There's no Manners Live this week because obviously they're doing Mike and the Minifans from Laconia, so probably won't be Manners Live this week. Obviously, this is a special week. It's the Ted Sarandis tribute week, and I want to be on as many shows as possible. Also, want to correct the record. Two of the dumbest things on the main show. I get up, I've got a missed call from Cullinane. I'm wondering what the fuck's going on. Firstly, they go, Freddie's taking time off because I said he should. And then they realize, no, that was me reacting to him taking time off.
That was funny.
So
that was a good moment.
So they got that wrong. And then at the end of the show, they're saying I was upset with something the show had said, which was just not true. I was just comparing the fact that some losers on Twitter were trying to get me in trouble for saying something, and they weren't criticizing the main show. I was never criticizing the main show. I was just using them as a comparison. That's all.
Do you take back what you wrote in the obituary, or whatever the condolence
No, why would I
page?
take it back? Brandon from Connecticut. Brandon was trying to actually defend me there. But the fact that Justin and Cullinane had no idea what I was talking about. Why would I take back the obituary? This is another dumb Kane question. Like, why would I? It was a great obituary. Like, I paid tribute to him. Our relationship was Ted James was a great supporter of my content for years. As I said, going back to 2021, probably before that, he would see.
Well, if I die, I need you to go into mine and write something too. Make sure that's
absolutely. I will.
You've set that standard now. Now that's what you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm shattered that we've lost a great Minifan. And I thought what I said was appropriate because he was super encouraging. That's how I knew him. He was,
he's a good guy.
Very much a supporter.
Is there any it was an interesting, it was a nice show tribute too. I thought Kirk going there and doing that show was very classy. It's it's one thing I've always liked about Kirk is that kind of stuff. He really takes that stuff serious, and you really love his show. It was a classy move to go in and do that. I mean, you didn't have to do that. I appreciated it. I was a big Ted guy, big Ted, and I was looking for him about a month ago, man. I'm like, where is this fucking guy?
Yeah, and
crazy.
People made comments on Twitter about why if you're such good mates with Ted, no one noticed he was gone. Well, people do take social media breaks, and things come up in your family where you need to step away. And in fact, Ted was one of those who might not listen to network stuff. And then, as I said, he'd send him messages. I was driving around all weekend. I listened to 6 shows, and he'd catch up. So, it was very sad.
The most offensive thing I saw this week was the video you showed me where that girl from Hot or Not Bree said John is the funniest guy she's ever known. I don't think he's ever made me laugh once. You?
No. In the 5 years I've known him, he's never said one funny thing at all. In fact, I don't even get his sense of humor. Like his sense of humor is so weird.
I was like, wow. Wow, John. I think she really likes you, my friend. Be careful. Let's see what we got going on. Go to the chat quick.
Oh, yeah. If people want to put in questions, now is the time. But yeah, what I was thinking for Ted is what we need to do now is we need to do yearly network awards, and they're the Ted Sarandis Awards.
Okay.
So that's what I think we should do.
What
network
kind of
awards
are you talking about?
Well, I think we'll go through, and I hope we need to go through Ted's Twitter because he gave out awards at the end of last year, so we can just I think go off that as a template.
You fucking pricks. Mick, that's not nice, Mick.
Yeah,
that's
Mick, is MA Gambling Girl your +1?
I know you've been dry for a while, and it's tough going. I get it, but you'll get there, my friend. You got a big weekend plan with the boys, so bring the lube. You'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I mean, I would be petrified about staying in a house like that. Like, people will come in, they'll be filming you when you're asleep. There's probably going to be hidden cameras in rooms from other Minifans.
Yes. What I would pay. I mean, I didn't get my invite. It's unfortunate. I wouldn't be able to get there, but
when are you going up?
Saturday. I gotta go Saturday, kind of like nightish, because my son plays basketball 1:30. And I'll probably leave. I'll probably be like 4:30, I would say. Yeah.
Great. So you'll miss Mike and the Minifans on Friday, but
Yeah, and I can't do all that. But
and you
I
staying up
wish.
there? Have you got a place to
Nah,
stay, or
no,
are you
I'm not just gonna come
driving back?
It's only like an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. It's not bad.
Good, and it
So,
would also keep you sober.
Yeah, and I won't be doing any drinking. Gotta stay focused now. I might get jumped. So,
Yeah.
Not a lot of questions.
You got any more topics you want to bring up, Kane?
Not really. Pretty much.
Obviously, you were talking before about the fact that you might have been suspended for a week, or you were taking a break.
Mhm.
You were never suspended. The management did encourage you to take a mental health break for a week, and you've come back well adjusted and firing again. So
totally
everything
normal.
worked.
Yeah, it's exciting. So that's true. It was the right move. It was an embarrassing show. That 18 minutes of hell. I honestly, it doesn't matter what I say, but I do apologize. I should not have said what I said about Pat's kids, daughter. I didn't, to be honest, it was so wild that I just didn't believe it. But I know, like, it's the wrong. It's on me. It's not on anybody else but myself. So, well,
Brando shouldn't have told you either.
Yeah, but he should be able to tell me things and not have to worry about that. So, he's told me some interesting things. You want to know what they are? He just told me before the show. No, I can't tell you. But he's no.
You're reading the chat now.
Yeah, well, it's my chat. Again, I wasn't drunk, Jameson. I don't know, this idea that I come on these shows drunk is so dumb. Like, you can't do shows like this drunk.
You did a very drunk you did a very drunk Spaces the other night.
Yes, that was fun. That was actually fun. I wanted to let Freddie get a word in, but I just couldn't let him.
Okay, so Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel. Should the main show strongly solicit parody songs again? I think so. Well, I actually think we're in a good spot now. We're getting the odd one. But the problem with AI is now people are just bashing out these AI parody songs. It was better when we had real songwriters doing it.
None of them were good either. I know Mikey Grabbags, he had that song. I don't even think it was that good. I mean, if you could put it in comparison to the other songs, it's like way low. It's just like we hadn't had one in so long. He came out, was funny. I'm not saying it wasn't a funny song. It's just if you go back and listen to some of those other ones, it's not even the same pantheon. I don't think.
Yeah. Michael Tube, Kane, Montante and John did magic mushrooms last year. Will you be doing some mushrooms with them?
I don't know. I hate this fucking guy though, so I'm not going to answer him.
Oh, come on.
I just don't like him.
Which one? Michael Tube?
Yeah, he sucks.
I don't like any of the fans, really. There's there's a lot I don't like. There's a lot I don't like. It's much easier that way when you just switch off from them.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's they got under my skin. I'm not gonna lie. I was irrationally mad at people, like very upset. So now I feel a lot better. What was it
in particular that really pushed you?
I just couldn't breathe, and then there was other shit going on. Nothing like crazy, but just like these people fucking constantly needling me. It all came together. The mask gambling fuckface. Yeah. Getting blocked. Yeah, can't breathe. I'm starting to hate people, and if you just hate Mick like this.
If you're having any problems with your girlfriend about this MA gambling girl stuff, I heard what you said to Brando. Just give her my number, and I will set her straight because she's delusional to think that MA gambling girl would let you anywhere near her. If she's a real girl, and that is what she looks like, not only is she half your age, she's way too hot. I mean, I don't even think she'll want to be in the same room as you. So
that's
she
true.
needs to wake up to herself.
It's a good point. Like the delusion is something that needs to be, smacked around in her. I guess.
Mama Kay, on the other hand, you two have often had a lot of chemistry on those shows you've done.
She's married. I'm fine.
Exactly.
I have a good relationship. I don't want, obviously all of a sudden one night she just brings it up, and it's like, okay, it obviously bothers you, but what else can I say? I mean, the person's not even real. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, it's
what are we
probably
doing here?
sneakers. But yeah, she's
Or fans of one
delusional.
of these
Like
guys.
no one wants you. No one wants you apart from her. That's what she's got to realize.
Well, maybe it is sneakers. It could be. That would be actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got. I don't know if anything you want to get off your chest.
I guess just how do you think Mick will do in the live Mick and the Minifans? Actually, Mick and I did a live show together before the Wilbur. He was a great help that day. One of the best helps. Didn't bail out like Red, but he helped with equipment and stuff. Anyway, so how do you think Mick will do in that sort of pressure live show situation? I think it's going to be really tough for him.
You know what? I really want to say that, but Mick has actually been very good lately. It's hurt. It hurts to say it. It hurts to admit the truth because I'm a big Mick. He's one of these guys that never does. He never sticks with anything. He's given up his show. No more BAP, right? He's committed himself. He's taken Kane's advice, and he's committed himself to the Kirk Minahan show, like I've told you to do. Good job. Finally, you're listening. He's on a roll right now. His show's very good. Banning me was very dumb. You should bring me back, Mick. It's time. It's dumb. Anyway, either way, he took my advice. He's finally put himself in a position where he can maybe finally make something of this because he's got the talent to do it. But deep down, Mick is still an insecure little boy, and I think he'll be good at this live show. I still do not trust he's going to, take the ball and run with it. I still do not trust that he's going to do it, but I could be wrong. But I just think, that insecurity is just something that just rules his life, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, it's good that he took your advice.
It's smart.
I am so happy with what Mick's done with Mick and the Minifans, what he's done for the network. I think he's turned over a new leaf, and I think
you run away like Freddie.
And I think it's not even I think your mentoring certainly been an influence, but I think Kirk as well. I think Mick lost a lot of ground with Kirk when he declined the job and didn't call him and put out the tweet instead and all that stuff. So he lost a lot of ground, and I think Kirk, wants to see from Mick a bit of character and a bit of tenacity.
Exactly.
And I think he's starting to show that this year. He's a lot more easygoing. He's stuck with Mike and the Minifans. It's not always easy to get people, and he's done it. He's put up with me a couple of times. So I think he's having a career year. I think Mick's on a heater. He's just got to keep it up. So it's
no question he is. It's a matter. It's never the question with Mick. I mean, he looks better too. He looks healthy, so that helps.
Yeah.
But we've seen it. We've seen this. A guy that's walked out of the studio a couple times. He's called Justin's grandfather a racist. I mean, it's dirty stuff. He's in here trying to ruin my relationship with mass gambling. I mean, this guy will stop at nothing to fuck people over. So, but that's what it takes to get over to the top. You got to step over people.
And I just want to give Mick some advice. I know you're watching for the live show. This is having done a live show in that environment. My reflection is you want to think about it. Two things. You are a great opportunity to record something that can be listened to later. So in the room, people will be drinking and talking and mingling. You'll think no one's listening, but you've got this great opportunity to record like a time capsule of the occasion. And so think about that, because it's great for people who aren't there to listen to, but great for people who are there to listen to afterwards. So don't worry that they're not listening. As I said, just try and get a good showdown where people are talking about their experiences, and just don't worry about the crowd so much. And as well, obviously you've got people watching live. Who knows if the internet will be good enough, but don't let the fact that no one's paying attention. If I was doing it again, if I was doing this, that's be my approach, that I want this to be like a time capsule of a part of this Laconia weekend. And it wouldn't bother me that, maybe it wasn't landing in the room.
Yeah. And I hope, Mick, you wrote that down. Get your pen out. This is good advice. everybody in here that wants to make it. That's good, solid advice from a CEO. So, pay attention, guys. What's Tom? Tom, huh? He's not really. He's never in the chat much. See what he has to say. Kirk had to bail last minute, but the KMS show had to happen. Who would be the best to sit in the big chair?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do a pilot for this when Kirk goes on holiday. Me, Mick, and John from Scranton are going to do a KMS show.
Wow, that's already like finalized.
Well, we're just going to do it. Like, you
okay.
can't stop us. I mean, so John will finally get his chance to produce. We can see if he could actually do it. Mick and I will be the panel. And maybe we'll get some third chairs in. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Nick will still be around, and he's doing great. But that's all I got. I'm gonna get off now.
We've hit an hour.
Yes, I hit my quota. Not 18 minutes. I made it. I made it four times more. I don't even know. 3 times, 4. I don't even fucking know.
It's
anyway,
like 3 and a bit.
There you go. 3 and a bit.
All right.
Bye,
thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right, that's it. Good show today. Thank you, Brando. Thank you to Menners. Thank you to the chat and everybody in it. I'm not going to name everybody, but special thanks to Tom Shattuck. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you soon.